Hi students and welcome to your science class. So last time we have studied that symbols for electrical components or circuit symbols, and in this video again we are going to start with class 10th science chapter number 12 electricity, and today's topic is circuit diagrams. Okay. Electrical circuits are represented by drawing circuit diagrams. A diagram which indicates how different components in a circuit have been connected by using the electric symbols for the components is called a circuit diagram. So what is a circuit diagram? I'll repeat: a diagram which indicates how different components in a circuit have been connected by using the electrical symbols for the components is called a circuit diagram. Okay, now an electric circuit consisting of a cell, a bulb and a closed switch, okay, which is drawn in this figure. It can be represented by drawing a circuit diagram which is shown in this figure to you. And in the circuit diagram shown in this figure, a bulb has been connected to the two terminals of a cell by copper wires through a closed switch. The electric circuit, now see here, the electric circuit consisting of a cell, a bulb and an open switch which was drawn in this figure can be represented by drawing a circuit diagram which is shown in this figure. In the circuit diagram shown in this figure, a bulb has been connected to the two terminals of the cell by copper wires through an open switch. The circuit diagram shown in this figure, okay, the figure A, is complete due to closed switch. Since there is no gap, therefore current flows in the circuit and the bulb lights up. In this case, the electrons can move through the external circuit. These moving electrons form an electric current. The current given in the next figure, means the current given in the figure B, okay, is broken. Why? Due to a gap because of open switch. So no current flows in the circuit and bulb goes off. The electrons cannot flow in the circuit due to the gap produced by the open switch. Another simple circuit has been shown to you in this figure. Okay, see here. It is a figure which consists of a cell, a resistor, an ammeter, a voltmeter and a switch. So in this circuit, a resistor, see here, a resistor R has been connected to the two terminals of a cell through a switch. An ammeter A has been put in series with the resistor R. This is to measure current in the circuit. A voltmeter V has been connected across the ends of the resistor R. That is, voltmeter is connected in parallel with the resistor. Okay. This voltmeter is to measure potential difference or voltage across the ends of the resistor R. Okay, now before we go further, we will discuss Ohm's law now. Okay, Ohm's law. So what is Ohm's law? That Ohm's law gives relationship between current and potential difference. Okay, it gives relationship between current and potential difference. Now according to Ohm's law, at constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. Okay, means according to the Ohm's law, at constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. Okay, means if I is the current, okay, just think that if I is the current, okay, flowing through a conductor, if I is the current flowing through a conductor and V is the potential difference or voltage across its ends, okay, then according to Ohm's law what we get, that I is proportional to V. Okay, I is directly proportional to V at constant temperature. Okay, and it can also be written as V is proportional to I. You can see all the steps here. Okay, see, I is proportional to V is proportional to I at constant temperature, or V is equals to R into I, where R is a constant called resistance of the conductor. The value of this constant depends on the nature, length, area of cross section and temperature of the conductor. So the above equation can also be, which above equation this can also be written as V upon I is equals to R. Okay, now we will make this as equation number 1. Okay, we have made this as equation number 1. Okay, where we have made this as equation number 1. Okay, where V is equals to potential difference, I is equals to current, and R is equals to resistance, which is a constant. So the above equation is a mathematical expression of Ohm's law. So equation 1 can be written in words as follows. See here, potential difference upon current is equals to constant called resistance. We find that the ratio of, okay, we find that the ratio of potential difference applied between the ends, okay, applied between the ends of a conductor and the current flowing through it is a constant quantity called resistance. Okay, the ratio of potential difference applied between the ends of a conductor and the current flowing through it is a constant quantity called resistance. Mostly students feel a difficulty in understanding the concepts of resistance. So I'll explain the definition of resistance in Hindi. Okay, what is it? That the ratio of potential difference, जो potential difference का ratio होता है, जो कंडक्टर के दोनों एंड्स के तरफ यानी पॉजिटिव एंड और नेगेटिव एंड दोनों की तरफ अप्लाई हो रहा है, और करंट जो उसमें फ्लो कर रहा है एक कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी में, ओके, उसको रेजिस्टेंस कहते हैं. द रेशियो ऑफ पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अप्लाइड बिटवीन द एंड्स ऑफ अ कंडक्टर एंड द करंट फ्लोइंग थ्रू इट इज अ कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी. जो करंट फ्लो कर रहा है वो एक कांस्टेंट क्वांटिटी है जिसको हम रेजिस्टेंस कहते हैं. Okay, the ratio of potential difference applied between the ends of a conductor and the current flowing through it is a constant quantity called resistance. Okay, now we have seen that V upon I is equals to R, or V is equals to I into R, or V upon R is equals to I. So current I is equals to V upon R. It is obvious from the above relation. Which relation? I is equals to V upon R. Okay, that the current is directly proportional to potential difference. Okay, and second, the current is inversely proportional to resistance. Since the current is directly proportional, okay, see here, since the current is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of a conductor, it means that if the potential difference across the ends of a conductor doubled, then the current flowing through it also gets doubled. And if the potential difference is halved, the current also gets halved. Okay. Since the current is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across the ends of a conductor, it means that if the potential difference across the ends of a conductor is doubled, the current flowing through it also gets doubled, and if the potential difference is halved, the current also gets halved. On the other hand, the current is inversely proportional to resistance. So if the resistance is doubled, current gets halved. Okay, if the resistance is halved, current gets doubled. So if the resistance is doubled, the current gets halved, and if the resistance gets halved, the current gets doubled. Thus, the strength of an electric current in a given conductor depends on two factors. See, this is factor number 1, potential difference across the ends of the conductor, and second, resistance of the conductor. And resistance of the conductor. Okay, these are the two things. I think now we will now discuss the electrical resistance of a conductor in detail. Okay. The electric current is a flow of electrons through a conductor. When the electrons move from one part of the conductor to the other part, they collide with other electrons and with the atoms and ions present in the body of the conductor. Due to these collisions, there is some obstruction or opposition to the flow of electron current through the conductor. So the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it is called resistance. Okay. The property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it is called resistance. I'll repeat it again. The property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it is called resistance. Okay, the resistance of a conductor is numerically equal to the ratio of potential difference applied across its ends to the current flowing through it. That is, resistance is equals to potential difference upon current, or R is equals to V upon I. The resistance of a conductor depends on length, thickness, nature of material and temperature. Okay. The resistance of a conductor depends on length, thickness, nature of material and temperature of the conductor. A long wire or conductor has more resistance and a short wire has less resistance. Again, a thick wire has less resistance, whereas a thin wire has more resistance. Rise in temperature of a wire or conductor increases its resistance. The SI unit of temperature is ohm, which is denoted by the symbol omega. Okay, symbol omega is written like this, omega. Okay, the unit of resistance ohm can be defined by using Ohm's laws as described below. See, potential difference upon current is equals to resistance, a constant, that is V upon I is equals to R. So resistance R is equals to V upon I. Now if the potential difference V is 1 volt and the current I is 1 ampere, then resistance R in the above equation becomes 1 ohm. That is 1 ohm is equals to 1 volt upon 1 ampere. So this gives us the following definition for ohm. 1 ohm is the resistance of a conductor such that when a potential difference of 1 volt is applied to its ends, a current of 1 ampere flows through it. Okay, 1 ohm is the resistance of a conductor. I will repeat, 1 ohm is the resistance of a conductor such that when a potential difference of 1 volt is applied to its ends, a current of 1 ampere flows through it. We can find out the resistance of a conductor by using Ohm's law's equation, V upon I is equals to R. And this will become more clear when we will solve some examples. Okay, when we will solve some questions of NCERT. So thank you everyone for watching the video till the end. Till now, if you have any doubt, you can write me on my comment section. Okay, and if you like the video, you can share it among your friends. If you enjoyed, please like it, please subscribe it, please share it among your friends, and please press the bell icon. So this is much only for this video. In the next video, we will be going to start with graph between V and I. Okay, so this is all for this video. Thank you students. and bye bye.